All right, we're live. All right, everybody. We're back and welcome back to the show. You got Poe and you got AJ Pax. And shout out to Mike Adams. Welcome back, everyone. I'm gonna stop with that. Good morning, good afternoon, and stuff. Just how y'all doing, and I hope y'all doing well and enjoy your holiday.
Yo, Bo,
Yes.
I don't think your camera feed's not coming.
Oh.
Like on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube it didn't kick in yet.
Yeah.
Let me see. Why it's not showing my background? Yeah, something might be wrong. Give me a second, everybody. Let me see. It's always something with this show. Good golly. I thought I was doing good.
But when you were looking at yours, you were seeing your camera feed on your screen?
Yeah, I saw me, but I ain't see my background.
That's the thing. And then all I'm seeing is green. And then on YouTube it just came out all black. What a circle. What do you call it? Like a timeout circle.
Let me see what's going on with YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, it's all green. Oh man. I guess y'all ain't gonna see us today because I don't want to restart this. I guess this is gonna be an audio show.
We're on radio today.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Mike Adams? What's up, Precisely? What's up, Leafy? Y'all gonna see me pop in and out because I'm trying to cook. I'm cooking for my mother, so I'm gonna pop in and out. And I hate saying this online, but it's life. Maybe if there was a paid program, I might have to be more professional, but no, it's organic. Let me see. Might
Hey,
need
Paul.
to plug the camera and plug it back in.
Mm.
My camera, see, let me see something. I'm
Right?
like scared to like do anything. I don't want to restart this show because that means I'm gonna have to reboot YouTube and everything. Let me see something. Daggone, we can't win from lose. Let me see. Yeah, it's showing me on what's called. It's like actually showing me, not my background. I'm gonna do a test.
Or do this. Hey, watch. As long as okay, do this. Give me a moderator, and
Yeah.
then leave the room and come back, so that way it won't collapse, and I might fix it. But
Okay.
give me moderator first.
All right.
Otherwise, it'll collapse when we leave and come back.
All right. Let me get out of here.
Not yet. But give me a
Yeah. I had to
before
I
you.
was in
Yeah.
a different window. Let's see, moderator. All right. So
Hold on. Before you go, let me see if I have it. Yeah. Okay. Yo, give it a try. See what happens if you leave and come back. Come back and leave and come back.
now if it say end or leave, I'm wondering, is it gonna end the show?
No, no, no. Do the one that says leave.
It got in and leave on the thing. I don't know if there's the option once I click this X.
If you hit, okay, hold on. I'll tell you the options. 1 second. End or leave. Okay, when you hit it the first time, then it'll give you the option if you want to just leave the meeting or if you want to end the meeting. In your case, you just want to leave.
Okay, I see it now. All right.
Yeah. There we go. Check 1, 2, 3. Go.
I think you got a.
Does that?
No, I
Like
don't.
right now, I think right now your thing is black, but I think it's waiting to load.
I think I'm going with what we got. I don't want to mess nothing up.
All right.
I mean, I'm gonna have to redo. Yeah, it's black on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just a black screen on YouTube. No name, nothing.
Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Today we're gonna do an audio show, y'all. It's gonna be an audio show. I don't know what's going on,
You don't have no
but
settings there for your camera?
no, because I'm going through my computer and it just automatic. I just pop. It asks me, do I want to use the camera or do I want to turn the audio on? So
Right, but
other
right
than
no, but right now, like on the bottom row, you don't have the camera button?
what on TalkShoe?
Yeah, and talk like the tab you have open with TalkShoe right now. Like we're in the meeting we're in right now. That tab, right? At the bottom, you have the camera.
Yeah, it says stop. Where it says stop video and all that. Then video settings.
That's it. So is it red right now?
No, it's not red.
Okay, hit the arrow next to it and see what's in there.
It got me on screen with no background, but then it got LSV cam. I don't know what the heck that is.
Switch, I don't know, switch it on and switch back. See what happens.
Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, something's moving.
Camera not accessible. Please check that no other application is using it or trying to use a different output setting.
You
I
think
would
you're
rather for it to give me the background like that than just the black screen.
yeah, that's true.
Let
But
me
do you
see.
think let me see something here. Yeah, you got, is there icon there? Let's see. Yeah, your icon there. So yeah, it's good enough then. You can manage with that.
Yeah, because it say no camera, so I'm gonna just
Yeah.
leave the
But
icon.
but but before you stick with this one, are you running the camera on a next program or something?
Not that I know of.
Nothing?
That's the
Okay, yo,
scary. That's the
go back
scary
to the
part.
video
Right?
thing and switch back. See if you could switch back to the regular camera now.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, and I give you this?
Let me see.
Okay, so that one's gonna be that one's done. Okay, so go back to yeah. Your best bet's the other one then.
Uh, Let me see settings.
I wonder why that happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. It probably some probably messed up when I was earlier. I was trying to do a kick. I was trying to set up for I have a stream on kick. That
Oh, okay.
probably did it, or it could be something else. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna just go back to this.
Yeah, that one works.
Y'all stuck with us, giving y'all the audio today. This is our 91st show. audio show. Leafy said that's fire. Give me a chance. Y'all don't know if I'm going or not anyway, but give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, we got things to talk about today. I want to talk about the Zuffer. They got a show coming out. YouTube app probably needs an update. That's probably what it might be too. Um, yeah, I'm gonna talk about the Zuffer. They got a show next month. So they officially, even though they've been doing that for 10 years, talking about there's gonna be a part of boxing, but I guess the Terence Crawford and Canelo fight helped them push their what they want to do. See, I got a lot to say as a boxing fan, and somebody from the UFC controlling boxing or trying to control boxing, and UFC fighters do not get paid well, no matter what nobody say. You know why it's gonna always be an argument? Because people are they are huge fans of UFC and they don't see no wrong. To them, if the UFC fighters was fighting for $2 in a soda, they would be okay with that. They don't care. They really don't care. So, all right, I'm not gonna get on that. That's not how I'm gonna start the show off. Let me see. I made a script today. Y'all should be clapping for that because I'm trying to stay professional. All right. Why boxing games need real punch styles? I'm going into my wish list today. Started off for the week, even though we got tomorrow Sunday. But why boxing games need real punching styles? A lot of fans gonna disagree with this, and this the fighting game fans. And the funniest thing is, fighting games have styles. Some of the characters have unique punching styles, but they don't. It's like they want boxing to fail as a game. They don't want it to represent boxing. All right, let me finish. Let me go back to this. Why boxing games need real punching styles? The core problem with boxing games, most boxing games don't actually simulate how boxers punch. They just assign damage values. Facts. Two boxers can look different but feel identical once you're throwing punches. Punches are treated as buttons, not techniques. This removes identity, strategy, and long term mastery. My key point is if punches feel the same, every boxer becomes the same. People don't realize that. I'm gonna be chipping away at the way people look at things. What customizable punching styles really mean? This isn't just cosmetic animations. It's a system where each punch has behavior, intent, risk, and context. Y'all hear that? Intent, risk, and context. We don't have that in Undisputed. but I don't want to make this about undisputed. I'm talking about boxing games in general. Punches differ in speed, telegraphing, fatigue costs, recovery, counter, vulnerability, and combo behavior. Most boxing games give you different guns with the same recoil. This system gives you different shooting mechanics entirely. I'm making an analogy to, shooting games. That's my analogy. Why 100 punches actually make sense. And this is what Ash was saying in the beginning, and it's like that whole thing disappeared. Because they're saying we were going to have over 100 different punching styles and stuff. I forget exactly. It was over 100. I know that, but it doesn't show in the game. Why 100 punches actually make sense? Boxing isn't just jab, cross, hook, uppercut. A flicker jab is not the same punch as a stiff jab. A short hook and a looping hook are opposite tools. Body punches are criminally underdeveloped in games. Facts. My key insight, real boxers don't just choose what punch, they choose which variation, which version of the punch. Punches should have consequences. Every punch should come with trade-offs. Power versus recovery. Speed versus telegraphing. Damage versus stamina drain. Missing punches should matter. Poor punch selection should get you punished. This is how you create patience, ring IQ, and decision making under pressure. Now, when you say patience, the first thing a casual fan or a person that don't understand boxing, they're gonna say patience. Oh man, you're trying to make the game draw out too long. It's gonna be slow. Boxing is not slow. And patience means you're not just throwing recklessly. Patience means you're paying attention to what you're doing and what your opponent is doing. And then not just throwing a punch and get caught by a punch. That's what patience means. Let me see what y'all saying in the YouTube. Let me see.
So so let me ask you this: in the history of boxing video games, has there been one where you could like vary the speed of the punch?
None that I really know of. But what's calm, I think games like Victorious Boxers, they like almost had it, but they wanted to keep that arcadey feel. The punches felt like, looked it like they had different torques on it or different speeds on it. But I don't remember no game that actually, you could control the speed of your punches. EA tried it, but they didn't try it because their thing is we can't make the game too realistic. They had to keep that kind of arcade, that casual accessibility feel to it. And I still hate that word accessibility. What is accessibility? Because the way one person is accessible to, it's not accessible to another person. And it's like that all the way around. They just using that word as a PR stunt. It sounds weird saying that when they say that we got to make the game accessible.
Yo,
Oh,
so hey,
okay.
if we were to vary the speed of a punch, how would that execute like in terms of controls? Because two ways I could think in my head. One way would be if there is like what do you call it when the controller, when you push a button, it can sense how hard you're pushing it,
Yeah,
or almost like with a drum. If you're using like a drum pad machine, right? It could sense how sense of how hard you hit it, right? I
yeah,
wonder if that's one way you could control it, or the other way you could control it would be like I don't know, like a Street Fighter, a Street Fighter control setup where they have what do you call it? We
different punches.
Yeah, like the top row is weak, medium, strong, and then
Yeah.
and then the bottom, well, no
But
kicks, right?
I think you could emulate that on the sticks, or you could
That's on
use
the sticks.
or you could hold the trigger and you could flick the stick,
Make
a
it more like a
certain,
modifier.
yeah, like a modifier. Because when they be saying it's not enough buttons on the pad, that's a lie. Because when
Big
even
time line. Hey, big time line. You know why? Because we don't need to use any of the buttons for kicks. We don't
exactly,
need to use. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because the thing is, you could use combination of punches like they used to do back in the days. You could push these two buttons and use something else to create a different move. So when they be saying all that nonsense, that's why I be saying when people try to argue at me, do your research. All right, let me see. This is why AI feels dumb in boxing game. AI usually just reacts to distance and health. It doesn't have a style brain. It throws whatever punch is available, not what fits its identity. Now, the fix is an AI tendency matrix where styles determine which punches are preferred, which combos start and stop, how risky the AI is willing to be, whether it hunts the head or body or counters. Punching styles versus fighting ratings. Versus fighter ratings. Ratings alone don't create identity. 290. This is one of my biggest arguments. And when you talk to casual people and people that don't know what they're talking about, it's hard to put this in their brain because they'll say, "Why is this boxer and this boxer rated at 89?" That don't make no sense because that boxer might be fast and have power. I mean, might be fast and don't have power. It might be a large number, and this boxer might be powerful and slow. The numbers add up. Their thing is when it's 90, 90 is like the overall. No, 90 is the overall what's added up together. Because the boxer can have like 60 all the way across. But when you add it up, it might be higher than you think it is. That's my thing. Ratings alone don't create identity. 290 rated boxers can feel identical. Styles define behavior, not ability, not just ability. Example: one boxer throws fast. I was just saying that. One boxer throws fast, low damage punches, and never overcommits. Another throws fewer punches, but each one threatens a KO. That's the balance. They both might be 90 or 89 or 75. But when you start adding up other things, that's what get the numbers. That's when the casual mindset, the hardcore boxing fan, the people that know boxing, they look at the 90 and they know what the boxer is. But my thing is the education of the ratings. They should educate people on the rating, let them see certain things. And visually, they should see why it adds up to 90. A certain fighter got 90. You actually had a person that said, why is Garcia, Ryan Garcia, the I don't know his rating that he is, and somebody in heavyweight has a higher rating than him. They two different weight classes. That's stupid talk. When people start saying that, that's when they really should be quiet. I'm like, I'll be listening to people. I'm like, what are you talking about? People they try to pretend they know things that they don't know. Same rating, completely different experience. Do your research. Stop coming at me or other people that know what they're talking about. That's why people talking about we should have the what's that? They talking about the it's a system, not the rating system. They talking about a tier system. A tier system doesn't belong in a sports game. That's arcade stuff.
They're trying to copy they're trying to copy UFC 5. That's what UFC 5 is.
They got a tier system now.
Yeah, UFC 5, like when you go through it, it's just like a 5-star rating system. So you
Wow.
can't you don't have overall rating.
Yeah, that's crazy. But let boxing be boxing. Let UFC be UFC. Combo trees, the missing layer. Combos shouldn't just be memorized strings. They should emerge from punch compatibility. Some punches naturally chain well. Certain punches go together perfectly. You just can't throw a random combination and hope for it to be, set up the next punch. Punches set up other punches, or the way your opponent is doing certain things, it sets up. You can't get mad when your punches don't land correctly if the game is made correct. Others should end combos by design. Why this matters? Players learn flow, not button patterns. A real player, a person that understands the sport or tries to understand the sports, they learn flow, not button patterns. And when I say button patterns, I'm not literally saying buttons, sticks, buttons, whatever. AI feels organic instead of scripted. A lot of things seem scripted in Undisputed and boxing games in general. Fights,
The blocking scripted.
yeah, it is.
That's what like the blocking is scripted, and then after people complain about they can't get there's not enough stamina so they can throw the combinations. But if they were to get rid of the scripted blocking, then it changes everything about the game. It just changes everything about the flow of the punches.
It does. Fights don't get fights don't repeat themselves if things is made correctly. Fatigue should change punching styles. We kind of just saying that. As stamina drops, some punches disappear. Facts. Others become slower or riskier. Late round boxing should feel different from round one. This is how you simulate aging boxers. War damage, championship rounds, comeback versus collapse. And I know a lot of y'all like, what does he mean? Aging boxers, I'm to talk about the aging boxers. Aging boxers might fall off in the later rounds. Some aging boxers, if they don't have wear and tear on their body, they should fall off kind of fast. If they should beat you up early in the fight, if anything. And when I say war damage, that means you've been through too many fights, like slugfest. I seen people, they got beat up more in the gym because that's how Philly fighters are. They fight like they're fighting in the ring, and that's not how you should be training. You don't want to get beat up in sparring, and you got a fight coming. People don't understand that. You're technically the last week it should be a cool down. Actually, the last 2 weeks it should be a cool down, light sparring, light working out. But in Philly, they're sparring like they're fighting each other, like they fighting for a prize. This I know for a fact. I'm not guessing. I actually went to Philly before. I told this story numerous times. I sparred somebody, I think he was 156. I was 192 at the time, sparring him. He had a fight, I think, the next day or 2 days after we sparred. And me, the way that I got heavy hands, I was dinging him. And I was like walking away from him, and his trainer was like, no, 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 keep going. That ain't how we spar here. And I'm like, yo, telling my trainer, like, that's crazy. Why would you hurt this guy up? And the guy was good. But while he's sparring a heavyweight, he 156. That means that anything that I throw at him is kind of gonna hurt him. And I was known for my power. Let me see. The style randomizer. Why it's important. Designers shouldn't handcraft every boxer. I kind of disagree with that. But okay. A style randomizer creates regional styles. This is if you use it's like this is ideas. Now, if it's something like if you create a character or something and you want a random style for that boxer. So a style randomizer creates regional styles, era-based tendencies, prospects versus veteran differences. Keep career mode fresh for hundreds of fights. Hundreds of fights. You heard that? Hundreds of fights in career mode. But we can't have that many fights in career mode. Especially if we're trying to replicate old school fights. They were having fights. Some fighters had 2 and 3 fights in 1 week. 1 week. They're not doing that now. And I kind of agree with them because the money and the damage that you can take fighting like that. But some of these boxers, they kind of lazy because having like 2 and 3 fights a year, that don't make no sense. You should be fighting at least 10 to 20 times a year as an up-and-coming fighter. Once you become a champion, then you fight 5 times a year. That's how it should be. And a lot of times it's not the boxers because they look at if you making 20 million a fight and you fighting 5 times a year, look at that money. Now you got to make sure that the arenas and everything sell out so they could get money and everybody else that they hire for that event. Okay. Why these systems benefit? Okay, go ahead. What you gonna say?
He was really good for when you think about when he hit his prime money making years, he was only fighting 2 times for the year. That's all he had to do.
Who?
Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
His
But with
prime money
Floyd,
making years.
but with Floyd, I think Floyd would have fought more, but Floyd had brittle hands. Because the way that Floyd fights, his style is like you're not taking damage so you can fight more. A lot of people take that time off because they've been like really damaged in their fights. I can see some of the modern fighters because some of the modern fighters they're stronger than the older fighters. They just don't have the stamina and the toughness that the older fighters have.
Hey,
That's the
let me ask you something about you were mentioning about the punching styles, right?
yes.
How do you achieve punching styles in the game? Would it be through motion cap or would it be something else?
It got to be both. It got to be both.
Well, what's the other thing? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, because like with like I'm gonna use 2K as an example because I know people gonna attack me. 2K, you got WWE 2K, and you got MLB the show. They add on different animations and different things in the game. So they constantly motion caption and stuff. So like certain boxes, they're gonna reflect the motion captions that they don't did and they don't added animations. Like 2K, you barely seldom hear them say somebody got laid off from 2K or they having a big, movement of restructuring the studio. Like when it comes to 2K, like the basketball game, I haven't heard that. Did
So
you?
what, no, hardly because they make that that game makes good money. But
Yeah.
but so predominantly then it's motion cap. That's basically the starting base then, or that's the
Yeah.
foundation for punching
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's gonna backtrack on that too? Claimer and cut. Because
Here,
we was
here, here,
talking
here-
about
well, here's
because
the
you
thing now. But here's the thing about now that we established punching style and mocap, right?
yeah.
I don't know why, but I was playing this game called Where the Winds Meet, and
Oh
I got
yeah.
to a point, where I progressed so much, so now it started showing me, okay, I got new animations that I could add to my character now, right? So in this
Uh-huh.
case, it's like a karate game, so it's giving me, so the animation is showing me, okay, I could do this new attack then. Let's just say that new attack is like a punching style, right? So I get this new
Yeah.
attack, but the only problem is I have to use a currency in order to activate it or to download it, right? So the game, so during the whole time I'm beating up the game, I'm getting all this currency in jade. I'm getting this currency in something else, but the currency this fucking animation's in is in pearls. There's no way you could grind for pearls. You have to go buy. You have to go to the store and buy pearls. You have to trade in your money, like real cash, to get these pearls so you can unlock these new animations. But I just thought, if the I guess if the publishers and the developers, if they come to their true sense of greed, that's why I figure you're gonna get as much punching styles. You'll get every punching style once they monetize it.
Well, I had left out. Apologize. Had to make sure
Well,
I turned off it.
I was just saying, like, where winds meet, they monetize the animations.
Oh yeah. But their thing is it's a free game.
That's the
Is it,
catch, right? It's like yeah, it's a free game. But the thing is, if there's a paid, it's a microtransaction pay to win element, and I don't really hear people talking much about it. But
yeah.
certain animations, when you buy it, it makes your guy more powerful.
Yeah, because you know why they're not gonna really talk about it? A lot of people. That's a catch right there.
Mm.
Their thing is, oh, I got the game for free. Why am I going to complain? That's a lot of people look at things,
But but
which
but
is
yeah, but here's the thing. Going back to there hasn't been a boxing game ever that has sold the punching styles. Instead, they always sell you the whole package. Like they'll sell you the whole. They're selling the character, which includes the
yeah,
punching style.
yeah. But the way that Steel City is going, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in Undisputed too.
Well, that's the
Or
thing. That's what I'm doing because they're going with this whole ratings and I don't know. Well, in okay, wait, in UFC, I can't remember. I don't think I've ever even came across anything where I could buy. It's always buying characters. They always sell characters and clothes, right? But no game has ever broken it down. I'm going to sell you punch sets.
yeah,
If there was a market for punching styles, how many punching styles do you think you could create?
I'm happy you said that. I don't know if I got this in my thing that I wrote up or helped me write up.
Mm.
Um, it's a lot. It's more than people. That's what Ash was saying in the beginning. He said it's supposed to be over like what he said, 100 and something punching variants and stuff like that. Nobody don't see that in the game, but there's a lot of punching variants in the game. I mean, in boxing, there are a lot of variants. They're like some of them are very subtle, but there are a lot. And some people they get intimidated when you say stuff like that about there's a lot of punching styles and stuff like that. How you going to put it in? Because every boxer shouldn't be throwing the same punches. That's how you put it in there.
If you think
Every
about it, when
boxer
you look at the
punch doesn't
wrestling
look the same.
games, they'll give you all those. They'll give you so many different styles. We'll say
Yeah, they
they
do.
do a better job
And
of
that and that's one of the things that I was saying in one of my posts too. That people don't complain about other like wrestling They don't complain about, all these different games that does these things. But their thing is they always complain about a boxing game. It's like they don't want a boxing game to do well. And then the things that they be arguing about, it's not the same thing that people like me, you, Beast, and other people that are boxing fans. They're talking about casual, heavy stuff that nobody really care for. Yeah, I'm 100% for casual should be able to play the game too and have fun, but the way y'all be saying things, y'all don't want the hardcore fans to have fun. It's like y'all want us to dumb ourselves down to play how y'all feel. No, that's not how it is. It's like me going on, all these fighting games that y'all good at, and I say, nah, that's too hard. Y'all should make it simpler. Them jokers, I have a heart attack. I did a test in the Discord. I forget his name because if I don't talk to you a lot, I forget your name. I think Gub, his name Gub. Gub always used to talk about MMA and fighting games. And then I said, I'm gonna do a brain thing on him. I'm gonna play with his mental. And I start talking bad about the UFC and fighting games, and this joker went on the defense. I said, oh, you're defending when somebody says something about Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all the games that you like, but you attacking people when they're defending boxing. That made no sense. We got 11 people in here. Hit that like button. Share the post so we can get more people in here. Because I'm trying to get y'all to come on the show and talk. I want to hear y'all opinion. Oh, Boxing Champion said Floyd he didn't fight like that his whole career. Pretty boy Floyd was a killer. Oh yeah, yeah, 100%.
No, but my point, but my thing was saying that brittle hands or no brittle hands, I believe that when Floyd got to that popularity, he only needed to fight 2 times. It made business sense at that point. But the amount of money he's drawing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But with Floyd, if he could fight 5 times a year and make $50 million, that's what? That's money. If he could get $1 billion or whatever, that Floyd loves money more than anything. And he tried to find the easy way around it. His style proves that he could survive, so that's his mentality.
Talking about love and money, what would it take Floyd to go 51-0? What kind of fight that? What kind of would it be with Jake Paul to pull him out of retirement?
I don't think Floyd would do it because Floyd don't want to look bad against a really, really active person that's like really training.
So what you just said is that Floyd should fear Jake Paul?
No, not at all. But right then with Jake Paul, because of him being active, he got a puncher's chin.
He's still kind of active, but he's only been doing he's been doing the same thing as Jake Paul, really exhibition fights.
Yeah, but that weight, because like I'm saying, this how I'm looking at it. This guy in my gym, he boxed all his life. He was boxing since he was 7 years old. He was the team captain. When I first came there, he was beating on me like it wasn't nothing. He was beating on me. A 119-pounder beating on a heavyweight. I think when I first came there, I was like weighing 245, 250. He was beating on me. But I started training hard, slimming down and everything. I was getting all my accolades and everything. He started training in Philly. He came back and said, I'm the man. This is my gym. I said, nah, man. Any gym you go to, the heavyweight is the man in the gym. That's how it was back then. I don't know how they're doing it now. But back then,
So
the heavyweight was always the man of the gym. It's his gym.
Mayweather's last fight was in June of 2024. Or his last exhibit, like his last anything he did.
And he pulled to fight Tyson next year.
Yeah, he's gonna fight Tyson spring 2026.
Yeah,
I don't think, but that's an exhibition fight. But
yeah, but Tyson, but this what they banking off of. Fans think Tyson hates Mayweather. So their thing is Tyson is gonna knock Floyd out. That's their mentality. But they gotta realize the money they're gonna make, Tyson is not gonna hurt no Floyd.
they just gotta sell it like a wrestling fight.
Yeah. And you gotta remember Mike Tyson, they trained him in that wrestling, like how to take them, look like you taking a punch. Let me see. He said nobody beats Mayweather.
You mean today? In 2025, no one beats Mayweather?
I can't see that nowadays. No matter, even though he's still training, you
Yo,
go.
what I would like to, yeah, you know what I would like? I would like to see Mike Tyson. He's always taking, one thing you have to credit Mike Tyson, he always takes the hardest fight. The hardest freaking fights. I want to see him matched up with somebody that would be, let's just say maybe around the same age.
I would like to see Mike Tyson against James Toney. Right now, that'd be a good fight.
So,
But I don't want to see it because Mike Tyson, one of them gonna get hurt.
But they're gonna fight. They'll take it serious then.
Yeah, one of them gonna really get hurt. And I think with James Toney, he can't turn that switch off. Tyson, he found a way to turn his switch off. Because Michael Jai White made me mad because Michael Jai White, he does martial arts. He does karate, kung fu, and all these other arts. He's not a boxer. He don't notice all the things. When he said Mike Tyson went holding back against Jake Paul, he's a fool. I don't care if he sees this or whatever, or he hears this and say, I dare you, Jai White, I boxed. My brother was a martial artist. He was a top martial artist. So all that nonsense you're saying, that it seemed like he jazzing up for Vlad TV, because Mike Tyson was biting his gloves for a reason. If you look at any of Mike Tyson fights, he don't bite his gloves. He was biting his gloves out of anger and not being able to do what he wanted to do. You could tell he was holding back. Let me see. Floyd won 10 million. Oh, man, you must have not been here. You really must have not been here when I keep saying, explaining what's going on with Floyd being in a boxing video game. It kind of get exhausting. People, so let me ask you this. Pacquiao getting $10 million is okay, but it's not okay for Floyd Mayweather to get $10 million. Or Pacquiao getting $7 million and Floyd Mayweather asking for $10 million. You know that EA undersold Floyd? Floyd found out. That's why he wasn't in round 4. He was supposed to be in round 4. That was a fact. They approached Floyd. He agreed to be in the game. But what they gave him, they were going to give him, and then he found out that Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, and all these other people, you can see Mike Tyson getting a lot of money. He's a heavyweight. But they were giving Pacquiao was, at that time, Pacquiao wasn't really the man, the way people make him out to be. And Floyd got offended that they were going to pay Pacquiao more than him. Then EA tried to renegotiate, And Floyd was still upset. And he said, no, y'all got to give me, he put out a bigger price, $10 million. Y'all got to give me this, give me that. That's when the problems became a problem. Now people starting to attach that to every boxing game that comes out. They're saying, oh, Floyd want 10 million to be in undisputed. Whoever said that, they lying. Even Jeff listening to the fans. He's not listening to what Floyd originally said. Floyd did a video before. I don't know what happened to the video. He must have took it down. He said, yeah, EA tried to undersell me. He did a video. He did a live video. I remember it. It was him and another guy. He was doing a live before YouTube like really was kind of blowing up. Tyson will quit if he fought Tony nowadays.
Yeah, I saw that. I have a comment on that. I don't think Tyson was holding back on Paul. I think Tyson's knee was preventing him from. He lost mobility in that ring because his knee. He has a knee issue, so he couldn't really go into his punches. But also too, Paul took care of Mike Tyson, man. He made sure you could see Mike Tyson was Paul looked in better shape than Mike Tyson in that fight, cardio wise too. Paul took care of him, man. I think Paul could have hurt him more, but he took care of him because it's an exhibition fight. Actually, no, that went on the record too, I think, eh?
Nah, I can't agree with that because with Paul, even though Paul was happy that Tyson didn't kill him, I seen
Tyson knee wasn't there, man. He couldn't do it.
But I seen Tyson on some of his worst days in sparring. People that went up there when Tyson was first in training camp, he was hurting them. Power is the last thing that leaves you. When it comes to boxing or in general, your power is the last thing that leaves you. Your speed, you might.
Go when you get a chance, go back and watch that fight and see if Mike Tyson wasn't limping.
No, I was looking at it, but that still has nothing to do. Tyson, if you paid attention to Tyson fights, Tyson was off balance, knocking people out, bringing his foot from the back to the front. That a boxer is taught never to do that because you're going to be off balance. Tyson always fought off balance. So the reason he was biting, and then you got to ask yourself, why was he biting his gloves when he threw certain combinations? Person does that when they get mad or frustrated that they can't do something. He was throwing certain punches. He was getting ready to hit him, and he'll pull the punch back. Nobody noticing that. Tyson was pulling his punches. Certain punches, Jake was not pulling his punches. He wanted to look like he belonged. Then he acted like he was giving Tyson a chance. No, he wasn't. He was happy that Tyson wasn't hitting him.
In those last rounds, Jake was pulling his point. He took care of Tyson. He made sure they went the distance.
I think Jay was happy that Tyson wasn't going out of character. Now,
the only thing I don't understand is why they said that was a professional fight, and they dropped. That was like what 2-minute rounds.
Yeah,
I don't know how they. I don't know how
wasn't Tyson. Tyson never changed that. That's one of the things that you actually helped build up my what I'm saying, because Tyson, he wanted the rounds. He was okay with it. Jake Paul started making critiques to the way the fight was. If Jake Paul went full blast, like people be saying Jake Paul didn't go full blast in that fight, but if Jake Paul went full blast in that fight, he would have made Tyson snap on him, and he didn't want that. You know how many people still scared of Tyson? They still give him the respect because they know how much power Tyson got. Jake Paul escaped in that fight. Now, my thing is, if Anthony Joshua knocks Jake Paul out, then what people gonna say about the Tyson fight? You see what I'm saying? If Anthony Joshua goes full blast and everything.
One argument would be age. Tyson was too old at that point.
I don't know, because then we gotta bring it to context. George Foreman was old when he won the title.
What is he, 45 when he won the title?
Yeah, but still, he was old.
But Tyson was 59 when he fought Jake Paul.
Yeah, but
That's
still,
a big drop in age.
yeah, but I don't know. I just can't give him that credit. Me right now, people even be saying it when I go to the gym.
Hold on. Let me see when did Foreman win? It was when he was 45, right?
Yeah, I think it's 45. He's in his 40s, his early 40s. Tyson still gets cooked versus Tony. Lights out is pound for pound. See, we keep talking about you keep saying. See, I'm a James Toney fan. Not in early.
No, it was 45. 45. It's 45. Yeah.
I wasn't a James.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't get to see a 45-year-old Mike Tyson fight a Jake Paul.
Yeah, that's true. But I can't. I don't know. I don't know. Because I always feel people give Jake Paul too much credit. They give him way too much credit. Jake Paul is a businessman and he's making it look good. You know what he is? He's Ringling and Brothers and Barnaberry Circus. They said a sucker is born every day. He got to make it. He even tell you, they said, even the devil going to tell you the truth. Jake Paul even literally kind of tell you. Look at Jake Paul's face at certain stare-off and stuff. Y'all think Gervonta Davis canceled that fight? It was his fault? No, it was Jake Paul.
I was waiting to see that fight. Davis will fuck him up.
Yeah, he knew it too. Give me a minute. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm cooking mama food now.
Yeah, boxing champions. That's what I was saying earlier. When you watch those later rounds, I think Mike Tyson got what I think he was his legs were shot, maybe by the I'm gonna say by the fourth round he was tired. Everything was tired, and you could see Jake Paul. He took care of him because it was an exhibition. Even though this was it felt like an exhibition fight. Paul can't. Paul, I don't think Paul could wrestle Joshua at all, man. Joshua is a big dude, man. Joshua is 6'6". And I think the weigh-in. I think the only stipulation, even though it's a heavyweight fight, I think he has to make. Let me see here. Joshua agreed to weigh no more than 245 ahead of the fight, but then otherwise there's no rehydration clause, so he can weigh it the hell he wants. But on a weigh-in day, but the thing is, a 6'6" guy, 245 pounds, Jake Paul, he's gonna lean on him. Jake Paul won't be able to handle that weight. He's never even conditioned himself to fight at that level before. No way. After the weigh-in too, Joshua will blow up. He'll go back up. I don't think it's gonna affect him, but I don't think Jake Paul will be able to handle that weight. No way you can wrestle him. I don't know why they signed the fight. It's just I can't see him. This is a 36-year-old Anthony Joshua, man. He's it's too much of a risk for Paul. I don't know why he even bother with it. I can't see him doing anything to Anthony unless they know that Anthony Joshua is they're just banking that he's gonna be slow and Paul's gonna be that blistering fast. Well, and all Paul's fights leading up to this, how much combination punching do you actually see him doing, or does he just pot shot? Because if he's gonna be faster and Joshua, he's gonna have to combination punch and just keep on scoring on him and do that for what, 10 rounds? Did he even make this a 10 or is this an 8 round? Let me see. I can't even figure out. I figured it has to be a 10-round fight. The only way Jake Paul took this fight, maybe they're not doing stringent PED testing. I don't know. But one thing to note, when Paul leading up to the Paul versus Tyson fight, Tyson was looking at his physique, and I remember he called him doughboy or whatever, man. Because when Paul had to put on all that weight, he didn't have enough time to like to turn it into muscle or to define it, so he looked sloppy. Now he has to go up in weight against I think he's gonna be it's gonna be the same thing unless he's doing some kind of PEDs. I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua finishes him in the first round. Just finish his ass one time. If Paul gets beat bad and then gets back in the ring and fight again, you're still a Paul fan? Okay, then if that was the case, so if Paul gets his ass beat by Anthony Joshua, who do you want to see Jake Paul fight next? Yeah, but Jake Paul has never really fought. Jake Paul, you know what Jake Paul is to a certain extent? He's just like Butterbean. You go look up Butterbean. Butterbean, I think, has 77 wins and maybe 10 losses or something like that effect. But if you look at Butterbean's career list, very similar. He fought a lot of guys that you'll never hear of, and he just kept on building up his record, building up. He's fighting guys like that he wouldn't have to worry about. Jake Paul can't fight David Benavidez. That's oh man, no way in hell. Especially Benavidez he's an active fighter that's like going into his prime. Same thing with Javante Davis. I don't know why. I don't know why Paul wanted to fight Davis. I had no clue.
Y'all still there? Nobody
Yeah.
leave. I had an
No.
important phone call. Um,
But
let me
yo,
see.
yo, Paul, go talk about claim cut. So I know you donated to his project already, right?
Yes.
Right. And there's a lot of talk about. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. I see a lot of stuff. It's getting out there now. It's trending. What he's doing, but here's the thing, eh? There's one thing about that's holding me back right now from making a donation, and that one thing that's holding me back is he has a YouTube channel. He has a lot of subscribers. He's made a lot of videos, but the thing is, I don't know why, but something about me, I want to see who this person is.
Yeah. Because he
I
told
want to.
me,
I like just like I just want to see like usually when you have indie teams, they'll do like a little they'll show themselves or something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Especially when you're going for support. That's something I think that's important.
yeah. Because he told me that he'd give me an interview once he put out the early access. He said he'd give me an interview. Because I wanted to get an interview now. But he said when early access happened, he's gonna give me the interview.
I want to see the game now.
Nah, see, his thing is, see, it's just like with me, because a lot of people kept saying, Poe, don't do it the show so nobody can see you. Because my thing was, when people look at me, they see me as an old, disgruntled man. And however Claimer Uncut end up being, the mystery is going to leave. A lot of people, he's a mystery to them. They're like, they kind of like it because his fan base is huge. Now, if he's other than what people expect, That's gonna kill
like
off
he's
everything.
kind of like a luchador kind of vibe.
Yeah, because
That he has to stay hidden, otherwise it breaks his character.
yeah, that's what I kind of think. Might not be, but that's what I kind of think. I think,
But here's the thing: if it was a luchador, at least I see the guy in the mask giving interviews.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But a lot of people like if he's black, they're gonna say, why are you making your voice like that? You know, they're gonna question people nitpick. They nitpick. Like even with Ash Habib, people nitpick. They start saying his religion and this and that. He never brings up his religion, so why are you bringing it? We don't even know if he actually a Muslim. That because a person that's their family lineage, that don't mean that's their religion. I know a lot of Christian people that are Arabs and Palestinian and stuff like this. You know, it's a lot of, but people always look at you and judge you by how you look. Like a lot of people look at me and probably be like, "Oh, he's an uneducated black guy that's disgruntled." I'm a married man. I went to a prestigious high school. I went to an art school. You know, I'm a decorated box and all these things, but people gonna still look past that. It's always gonna be how you look. And my thing is, even
Yo,
when I be like stuttering or mispronouncing, that's because I'm not a people person. Even when I was boxing, I could not look in the crowd. People be calling me and saying, "Look," or you know, I get in crowds. I'm not a people person, and that might be the thing. Why he's like, do he want that attention now? That probably what he's been wrestling with the attention. I don't
let me
know.
ask
I'm just guessing.
let me ask you this: in the history of indie games we've seen, and let's just say in the last 10 years, has there ever been a faceless indie developer that's asking for money?
Uh yeah, I think it was a few that asked for because
There's a
people,
few. Okay.
yeah, people were looking at the brand. They want, I mean, they were looking at the they didn't look at the indie. We didn't really see them, or they probably have a representative that, but we never seen the actual person that's in that was actually the face of the game. That was, you know, the owner of the game. They'll probably have somebody represent them. But other than
Which
that,
is fine. I'm fine with rep. Yeah, as
yeah,
long as like it's a face, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, boxing champion. Give me just two reasons why you think Jake Paul has a chance. I'm just kind of curious now.
What did he say about Jake Paul?
I just kind of said Z boxing feels that he feels like he's pulling for Jake Paul.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Who did Jake Paul really
Hey,
fight?
yo, Paul. You know what? You know what's catching people right now? I think it was a couple of days ago. Jake Paul had that. He was showing the training video of him hitting the heavy bag, and
Yeah,
everybody's getting excited because it's
from a punching bag.
a punching bag,
But
man.
that's casual. That's a
Hey,
casual.
but you know who mastered that when you think about it as a way to advertise the fight, Mike Tyson. If you think about that, remember when Tyson was leading up the fight, Roy Jones, everybody wanted to see him do anything.
Yeah.
You'll see him, and you see him speed bag, heavy bag, any kind of any little thing with Mike Tyson, and everybody would get excited, man, because you feel like, okay, he's coming for you, man. It's almost the same thing with Jake Paul right now with those heavy bag videos.
Oh, esports boxers say I don't think Jake Paul has a chance against Anthony Joshua, especially after they set up that event with Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua got to blow Jake Paul out the water.
What's
That
what's
fight is set. They
Which
set
one?
they set up a fight, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. They
Oh,
already got
that fight's been set already.
it's set. Turkey Allergy got it set. That's his next fight after this Jake Paul's thing. So he got to blow Jake Paul out the water. He gonna make a statement.
I can't understand what angle Jake Paul. Why would I can't see the angle behind why this man
Money.
this and the money's so much for a loss. He could have
Yup.
made the same money and then get a win somewhere else probably.
Nah, you got to realize Anthony Joshua still has a fan base. So you merge Anthony Joshua fan base and Jake Paul fan base, and that's money. That's how Jake Paul thinking
Yeah,
about it,
yeah, but
even
the thing
in a
is, every
loss.
time Jake Paul is fought, he's looking for a win.
Yeah,
All
but
like okay, this
it's
all I was saying before. I think you went on the phone a bit there, right? But one of
yeah,
the things I said that the same playbook when you look at Butterbean, it's the same playbook Jake Paul's using. Butterbean he has like a crazy ass boxing record, but if you look at the guys he fought during his career to build it up,
yeah.
and then when he finally got do you remember when Butterbean fought Larry Holmes? I think that was Larry Holmes' last
But
fight
he
in his
got
career
beat
too. Larry
before
Holmes
that.
was
But
horrible.
this guy named Derrick Rose. I think his name was Derrick Rose. I know his last name was Rose. And you know it's the funniest thing. Um, what's his name? They were trying to get a fight with me and Butterbean.
Oh
And you
shit!
know,
You're gonna fight Butterbean?
yeah, they was gonna set up a fight. And what happened was, um,
Oh, like under it would have been
Ray,
something with EA?
yeah, Ray Mercer manager name was Tommy Parks. And he said, man, they're not gonna let you fight Butterbean because you know how to fight. And I was like, oh man, y'all just don't want to set that fight up. And then I saw that fight, I was like, yeah, he was right. He said, man, you a steamroll through Butterbean. For one, I like hitting people with body shots when they big like that. And I was like,
Yeah,
dad.
just look at Butterbean. Like, but that's the thing. That's what Jake Paul did. He was able to build up his record doing that. And then because if you hear a lot of people, what they talk and a lot of people talk in huge regards for Butterbean.
Yeah, but I can't Butterbean, like when he fought Larry Holmes, he fought Larry Holmes. He literally
Yeah,
fought him. You know,
and he
even
fought
after
an old Larry Holmes too. Larry Holmes took
yeah,
care of
but
him.
Larry Holmes was still winning when they fought. He was still winning fights. Because he for one, did he beat my friend? My friend Maurice Harris, that's the one that's famous for being knocked out by that guy named Derek Jeffries. He got hit and got stretched out, tall heavyweight. He was a friend of mine. I used to spar him all the time. Um, oh yeah, and you it that's this the story I'll be telling people and they don't believe it. And my thing is just because somebody get knocked out don't mean that they don't know how to fight. He used to go the guy that got knocked out, the famous video that everybody always see that boxer get knocked out, boom, get knocked out with that what is hook. And he's stretched out, tall heavyweight. And he went to camp to train with Tyson. They sent him home. I think after a week because he was too tall and he loves to move around. The guy was good. It's just that at times he was lazy. Same thing with Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer was good, but Ray Mercer was lazy. It was times that Ray Mercer, he was out partying all night long and said, yo, champ, he used to call me champ, and say, yo, champ, I'm gonna pay you for today. I'm not doing no sparring today. Because he's hanging out all day. I mean all night. But that's the things that people gotta look at. Even what's calm. Jake Paul, sometimes he doesn't take boxing serious. You always seeing him. He got a beer. He's drinking this. When I was coming up, drinking and using drugs was off the table. Athletes don't do that. Even though there were athletes that did it, it wasn't out in the open. You have people like Sugar Ray Leonard was using like cocaine and stuff like that. You know, it was like different boxers doing different things, but that wasn't a norm. It wasn't something that everybody knew. But Jake Paul, he promoting beer, he's promoting partying and stuff like that. You're in training camp. I know it might be optics he putting out there, and he's actually training hard, but still, you're promoting boxing the wrong way.
Oh, yo! So I saw a couple of days ago was the gaming awards. I think this is the one where what region was it? The other one was in London or in UK, and then there was one here the other day. I think this one was just the Game Awards 2025. But I was looking through the list and I saw best esports game. They put Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah, that's an old game.
I know that's a real fucking game, man. But that's the best I was surprised that. I was surprised. Well, when they say esports, everything's a sport, I guess. Than anything you're playing, but I figured you should just have a best online shooting game. You know what I mean? Keep it more to sports kind of stuff. But
yeah,
that
but
got the best
it's kind
one.
of confusing.
But as I went through the whole list, I tried to look through all the different categories, like anything that maybe Undisputed could try to qualify for, and nothing. Even content creator year, nothing. Best fighting game went to Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
They had that in there, right?
Yep, they got that. That won the best fighting game. But that's the thing.
Wow. But you know that was gonna win because that's Turkey. They gotta look out for Turkey. Turkey associated with that.
What let me ask you. So yeah, they didn't win one freaking best multiplayer game. Hell no, they're gonna get that one. Arc Raiders got that.
Yep.
Arc Raiders got that. Arc Raiders just came out and they got it, kind of thing, right? It's like
a couple of months ago.
Oh, here we go. Best sports / racing game, Mario Kart. They have a category called Best Sports and Racing Game. Mario Kart World won that.
Wow.
Best debut indie game, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That won a lot of fucking awards, that game.
But my thing is, why didn't they win last year or the year before last? that says a lot. And you know what's the funniest thing? It was projected that they were going to win a lot of awards. But they went the opposite route. That's crazy.
But here's the thing. Off the top of your head, does Steel City consider Undisputed a fighting game, or they're trying to make a sports game?
That's a good question. That's a great question. Steel City, I mean, Ash considered a boxing game a sports game, but we don't know what the investors.
Sorry, go on.
We don't know what the investors and Will are trying to make it.
Well, I would say it's a fighting game, and I'll give a good example why this is a fighting game. This is something very this is like something people probably don't even pay attention to anymore. It just kind of goes over people's heads. But why I think this is kind of like why this might be a fighting game is. So do you remember in Fight Night Champion when you're fighting? And at some point, when two guys are fighting, they're getting entangled, they're moving on. Eventually, you might switch sides of the screen.
Yeah.
And you've seen that in Fight Night Champion. You've seen that in previous Fight Nights. You see that happen in the UFC games. But in Undisputed, they lock it. No matter what you do, you can never pivot around the guy. You can't really go around him. Nothing. It's always gonna make you face him every time, no matter what. You can't change sides. You're not really. To me, it's almost like you're not really fighting 360 degrees. You can't really fight that way in the game.
And that's not how it was in the earlier builds. That's the thing that be puzzling me.
Well, that's the thing. It took me a while to really come to that conclusion. I said, how come all these games, all the like sports-based fighting games, a simple thing like that, but in this game it's locked, and you don't really hear people talk about it. Nobody complains about it, but it makes you wonder, like, if it's locked, that means there's certain movements you can't do. You can't really move around. You can't really move around freely then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Maybe in the beta we got closer to that, but I don't know what would cause that to happen. Like like with a company, why would they do that?
Design choice, and like I keep saying, that the investors and the publisher, they stuck. They don't want.
Yeah, but here. But if we talk about investors, then so you have Novatar and you have a London VP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why you think any of those executives they probably don't play games to that level, but would anyone come out there and say, okay, we want this as a design. This has to be in the game because we're doing something. This is something we saw in a report or something that we thought this will make us more money or something to that effect, right? Like
Yeah.
that kind of design decision. I don't think it would come from the investors. It has to come within that Steel City, their think tank. It's that old think tank it's them. And I can't, but going back, I was saying, I can't understand what is it they're trying to achieve with it.
Yeah, but the investors do have a say. That it clearly said that they have a say of the product and stuff. A lot of them, like especially with Play On, they have they can have if it depends on the contract too. But a lot of this stuff, we'll probably talking to them, talking to Ash, and he's probably taking their perspective instead of telling them like which would have been the smartest thing in the world is it's like 15, 20 years we should be progressing instead of staying stuck in a certain era. But Will is not going to say that because Will, like when we seen him have a fight with Boxing Fanatical or other people, his thing is I want to win at all costs. And he can't win with it being realistic. And that's what Ash kept saying, that he want the game to be realistic at all costs. But they kept talking him down. You could tell.
What one thing I hope that I just hope that Steel City never try to label that decision as, okay, this is an accessibility issue, because that's one thing I hope that was never that's their way of saying accessibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's to the point that they don't got to say it. It's to the point that they don't have to say it. They got fans that's going to keep repeating it and saying it for them. And that's crazy. Yeah, let me. Oh, what's going to say? If he takes a beating and still wants to box, he earned my respect right now. I think Paul is a clown. If he take a beating and still box, why is he special when certain people?
That's what I was saying there when I saw that too. I was like, is this guy pulling for Jake Paul? I don't understand what's going on there.
Yeah, but he's saying in general he's not pulling for him, but he's saying if.
That's double talk, man.
Yeah,
he's saying that, but deep down, it sounded like you want him to win.
Yeah, because my thing
if he told me he was putting underdog money on him, okay, fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He's a 7-1 underdog money right now.
Yeah, because my thing is a lot of boxers, when they lose a fight, people dog them out. That's why a lot of boxers they actually chase people off of Twitter and social media because they lost the fight. In my era, that didn't mean nothing. Boxers fight like 2 or 3 months later, a month later. Yeah, they lost. But the way social media is set up, they messes up boxers' career and their confidence. Look how they're not letting up on Tank. They give Ryan Garcia a pass. Nobody don't even talk about why Ryan Garcia was suspended and stuff like that. They give him a pass. So that shows you how messed up this era is. Let's get into this Dana White thing. This is an interesting topic. And I'm trying to contact them and see what's going on. That would make a great interview if they hook me up. Man, I could see us being monetized after that. But let me see. Dana White moves into boxing. Dana White transitioned from UFC to boxing, launches Zuffa Boxing TKO Group. The first event is January 23rd, 2026, strategically the day before UFC 324, creating a combat weekend, a combat sports weekend. Broadcast deal with Paramount Plus, signaling a major investment in production and reach. You see how he's doing all this extra stuff for boxing? Because this thing is he's trying to track boxers. Now I'm gonna talk about why I feel that Dana White might not be as good for boxing as some people feel. And I think a lot of the reason the way they feel is their bias, their love for Dana White because he's attached to UFC. Okay, significance for boxing. What this means for the sport: high profile promotion, potential increase in mainstream visibility. Comparison to past promotions trying to shake up boxing, Golden Boy, Top Rank, etc. Opportunities and risks of a crossover promoter from MMA to boxing. Fans' perspective and community excitement. Traditional boxing fans versus crossover audience. What to expect. The anticipation around super fights and new talent. Potential for innovative fight presentation, storytelling, and fan engagement. See that's some of the stuff that I'm like when they say storytelling and presentation, is you gonna make this turn into um like over the top, like people. It's gonna be like wrestling if that's the
Or
route they're taking.
I don't. No, no, no. I don't want. There's no way it could be like wrestling, but it could. Uh, it could be like HBO when HBO used to do boxing.
If that's what they
HBO
talking
had really
about.
good presentation when they did boxing.
But you know, TKO is part of UFC.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So I don't know. That's why I'm like basically saying that I don't know what route they're gonna take, and I hope it don't be no a whole lot of flash in it.
I think it's gonna be the exact same as UFC, but it's gonna be boxing focused. Same format. Everything's gonna be same. That's the vibe I get from it. I
Yeah,
think also too, they said they're gonna have a 200 boxer roster, but they have no boxers announced yet.
yeah, they don't. They still shopping around.
You know,
Video game possibility. Could Dana White and Zuffa TKO bring boxing into gaming? Why game will make sense? Fan engagement, younger audience, interactive marketing, possible forms. Standalone boxing game, fight night style, realistic mechanics, integrated mode into a UFC EA sports title. I don't like them integrations. Online esports, seasonal events aligned with real fight cards. The challenge is licensing fighters, rights issues, and realistic representation. But I think we have a better chance of them making a more realistic boxing game than Steel City because they have to
yep,
grab the
yep,
fans.
yep. You're right. That's
Yeah,
very true, man. But that's the evils that's gonna come out of that, man.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Facts. And the thing that I didn't like, the UFC EA Sports integration. No,
yeah,
boxing have to stand alone because it goes back to the hybrid. Stop forcing hardcore fans and boxing fans to accept a hybrid game. It should always be options. I'm gonna say that every show.
definitely. Because this whole thing, it's a okay. What is it? TKO and Turkey Olive Sheep partnership, man. For sure we're gonna get a boxing soon. Like
So that means Turkey gonna be investing in 3 boxing games.
I don't know if he'll still continue to support Undisputed. The way Undisputed like the whole idea with Undisputed is right. Do people actually think of Undisputed part 2 is gonna sell. They and with the same formula right now, I say
I don't
hell
think
no.
so. You
Hell
know
no, it's
what?
gonna sell the same formula.
No.
If Steel City doesn't come out with content showing that they're actually upgrading the gameplay update. Like when I say gameplay, we're seeing innovation in the fucking game, and not just friggin' bullshit tuner updates, balance updates. Game's gonna be trash. All it is that the people who like this game, okay, you're gonna get dedicated servers, which they could have gave to you already with this game, but they're not. But they're conning everybody.
Yeah. Let me see.
But yo, you know what I kind of hope would happen? Let's just say TKO's boxing doesn't destroy it doesn't destroy everything, right?
Yeah.
And it starts off more like a small little niche then, like how they want it. Because the whole idea is that it's to see who's the best now at the fastest rate. That's what UFC is good at in terms of their ladder. They
Yeah.
don't they force you. You have to fight because it's just one. You have to fight. You have to fight all the time, right? So
Yeah.
you're gonna see that you're gonna see the championship changing many times, and at the same time you're gonna see who's the best, who could defend that title the most eventually, right? At that schedule. But
Yeah.
what I kind of hope to see is, you know how you have the CFL and you have the NFL.
Yeah.
I would love to see one of these days that if the CFL can have a team that's really good, then they'll have some kind of they'll have a tournament, CFL versus NFL, a big mega bowl. But in terms of TKO, take their top whoever the TKO champion is, and let them fight the WBC champion. Let them fight the WBA and see what happens, man. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
That'll be big money fights too.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Strategic timing and marketing. How the January 23rd debut aligns with UFC 324. See, it's always going to be attached to UFC. That's the thing that's going to make a lot of people angry because no matter what people be saying, everybody is not a UFC fan. They really don't care for it. I know I don't care for it, and I grew up in a martial arts family.
Yeah. Also, too, when you think about the
Money,
okay, if you think about the UFC fan, especially the casual fan, the reason why they like UFC is because the fight can end in one round that fast. It's almost like a lot of it's like it's a really good I guess a sport to watch for people with short attention spans.
yeah,
Now, when you have to watch boxing, not necessarily end in one round. You know what I mean? But it's a
yeah,
different audience altogether.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like people they want action, 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 but then they don't realize grappling. Them jokers be grappling. I saw it like, man, I ain't watching no men grappling on the ground.
Well, that being said, too, the grappling and the wrestling, the ground fighting, the UFC fans don't like that. They only want to see you stand up and punch. That's all they want to see, really.
Basically, a boxing match.
Yeah, they want to see a boxing match. That's why I don't know why they don't bring back Pride. When Pride was around, that was a good cross between the two.
Then Dana White buy that he absorbed it and then he got rid of it.
Yeah, yeah, you absorb it and shut it down. That's it. You know, so they don't have no Pride again. Nothing like that. But that was a good league.
Yeah, that's see
It was,
that's
and you
that
know
right.
what? It was good too because you would see guys from the UFC. You would see them jump over there if they want if they're looking for a different if they're looking for a different style of fight.
Yeah, that's the scary part though. That's scary. Like if it's if it doesn't pick up the way he want to, all this gonna do is make the promoters give boxers more money to fight. And Dana White, he's trying to cut the pay to what boxers getting now. The way he's setting it up, like you're not gonna be getting them big paydays and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
fight to get them paydays. So if they could get that with Eddie Hearns and other fighters, why should they fight in your tournaments? That's where it's gonna be
Well,
a problem.
here's the thing. What's the chances? Okay, it has to be a boxing league, right? They already said it's boxing.
Yeah.
It has to be boxing. But I was wondering, now that we just kind of mentioned pride fighting, what if they came out with just a straight up stand up punch, but they use 4-ounce gloves. But then you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
But it has to be boxing. It can't be their own take on it anymore.
But once they start changing the dynamics of what boxing matches usually is, that's when it becomes something totally different.
Well, I think they're gonna. That's what I'm saying. So I'm wondering if it's really gonna be boxing or not, because I remember you've been hearing all these things. I think with Showbiz, I remember he was ranting about something the other day where they wanted to change something like that you see in boxing. They don't want it in TKO boxing. You remember what it was?
No, because I know you always talking about running and moving around, and you gotta stay in the middle of the ring and fight. That's not boxing. You gotta move around. His thing, Showbiz, he don't change his perspective of what boxing is. He wants you to stand and bang. Every boxer can't stand and bang with somebody. You a fool if you stand and bang with somebody. Look what happens. See, their thing is we don't care as long as it's knockouts. Then it start getting boring to people because you say, all right, that's just gonna be a knockout. But the potential of the knockout is where, to me, that's where it comes from. You know, the potential.
It was something him and Max Kellerman, both of them were they were on the same page about something.
It got to be the movement. It's got to be the so-called running around the ring,
It was
not engaging.
Something to do with that. I don't know if they were trying to bring Haney into it or whatever, but it was something wrong. But that's what I'm wondering, if this TKO League might actually end up being just their own, what they want boxing to be.
Exactly. Like he was talking about when people was clinching. People stopped clinching as much as they used to clinch. Because I remember people used to clinch a lot. Now that went away. Now they finding something else to complain about. And I'm like, yo, everybody shouldn't have a say-so of what boxing is. You know, Showbiz act like he's a boxer for everybody that, even boxers, everybody that watch boxing don't make them a great trainer. And I put the money up. If Showbiz want to challenge me or anybody that think they know more than me, you train somebody that never boxed in their life, and I train somebody that never boxed in their life. The person that I train will put your boxer to sleep. 2 months, 2 months max. That's how confident I am.
I found it. They're promoting this thing called a no running rule.
Yeah. But what is running to them? Every movement is running. You know, remember when people used to say Floyd used to run? Now they saying Floyd didn't run. Make up your mind what's running.
Hey, the only way they can achieve one way I think you can achieve what I know what he's trying to say, and you've never seen it in boxing before, but if they were to put a shot clock or a punch clock, that's the only way they can achieve if they're trying to change the way boxing is. If that makes any sense, what I'm saying. That a punch has to, somebody has to land a punch within X amount of seconds, otherwise you get a penalty every time. That's the only way you could call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would that work? If you would have if you would have.
You know what it is? They're gonna have to make the referee be more enforce them not running and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
but if you had a shot clock or something like a shot clock, that would also just that puts them on the spot to do something.
Yeah.
If there was a punch clock, how much would you put it at?
It's hard for me to say because I don't like that idea.
I know it's a bullshit. It's a bullshit idea. But if let's just say these guys were gonna go, how much seconds do you think, based on your boxing experience, that you would put on something like that?
I think they have to engage within 5, 10. in 5-10 seconds, something like that. Even that's still like, for one, if somebody get hurt, you're a fool if you standing there. If you get hurt, because then they're gonna complain once, because people gonna go back to the clinching. I'm okay with the clinching. Then if I had a choice of which one to implement and take away, I would take away the running. But then you're making a boxer lazy. Everybody wants you to come to them. If you're a smart boxer, because they're gonna call everything running, because there are boxers that circle around you. They hit you with punches, moving around you. Hitting you with punches, moving around you. That's not running. But you know what the opponent gonna say? Won't you stay still and fight me? That's the stupidest thing in the world to me. Let me see what they're saying in there. What's up, Poe? I mean, Dad, I said, what's up, Poe? What's up, Blaze, pound for pound? He said, what's up, AJ Pax?
What's up, Blaze?
Yeah. Mike Adams said, Paul is going to get decimated. I think so, too.
You think you'll get knocked out in one round?
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to get knocked out in one round. I feel like, this is the first time he's going to take a punch from a heavyweight, not just a heavyweight, a former heavyweight champion.
Yeah. He's fighting somebody that's not past their prime.
Yep.
And they're actually a heavyweight that's active.
It's the first time like he didn't take no baby steps to fight this guy. I can't understand why he's doing it.
Because he's trying to, his thing, he was using that excuse. Mike Tyson, they fought people and that's a myth. Because if you look at the people that Tyson fought, a lot of them jokers was beating on other people. Trevor Burbick was not a bum, but to a casual fan, he's a bum. They're saying Larry Holmes was old. Larry Holmes was still winning when he fought Mike Tyson. Because who he beat? He fought Ray Mercer, I think. But he was still fighting people and winning. They make up a billion excuses. When Mike Tyson beat Spinks, Spinks was winning. Tyson can't help that Leon Spinks was scared of him and feared his power. Stop making them excuses.
Wait, how many times he fought Spinks? I thought they only fought once.
No, he fought Spinks.
Because Spinks is the one he's the one who set that knockout record. He finished him in one. I think he finished him in one round.
I think he fought both brothers.
No.
You know what I'm
one
thinking
was an Olympic champion. One of the brothers, I remember, he was, I think, the gold medalist.
Yeah.
And I think he finished them in one round flat. Like it was like a record or something at that point.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about what's his name? Not Marvin. He didn't fight Michael Spinks. No, he fought. It was Michael Spinks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm thinking about? Frazier. I'm thinking about Frazier's son. I keep lumping them together because they both from Philly.
Yeah, he fought Michael Spinks, who was the gold. Michael was a gold medalist, and he beat him in the first round. He beat him in 1 minute 31 seconds.
Yeah, he was scared of him.
Yeah, and Michael Spinks was 31-0.
Yeah, so you can't call him a bum. What's the call him was dangerous. He fought. This what I be getting at people about. He fought Buster Douglas twice.
Tyson fought for so many years. That's the thing. Tyson has like 3 different areas, like really, you know what I mean? Like there's like 3 different Tyson because he fought so long.
Yeah. He fought Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas was not Buster Douglas. He fought Razor Ruddock. He was knocking people out. He was dangerous. And you know what Mike Tyson said? Let's run it back again. Mike Tyson destroyed Razor Ruddock. It ain't, and when people say, Tommy the Duke Morrison, he destroyed Razor Ruddock. No, he destroyed. Tommy the Duke Morrison fought Razor Ruddock that fought Tyson twice. He was never the same boxer after fighting Tyson twice. I knew my Razor Ruddock manager. When I used to be at the park training, running and stuff, he used to be down. It was two twins. Look it up. The two twins that's in Razor Ruddock corner. One of them used to be down there all the time. And he was saying, Razor Ruddock is not the same Razor Ruddock after them two fights. He said it took a lot out of him. A lot of people that fought Mike Tyson, it took a lot out of them. They weren't the same.
But also, too, when you look at a lot of nobody was beating Mike Tyson before from 91 down, we'll say. Everything from 91 all the way down to 80. That was Mike. You didn't see him fight. Holyfield didn't fight him. Lennox Lewis didn't fight him during that time. They all fought him
exactly. After. They knew right when was the right time to fight.
They fought him when he got old.
Exactly. And then you got people that hate Tyson going to say, no, he was going to beat him no matter what. Nah, this my thing that I say to these people that say,
I'll give Holyfield still some credit. Holyfield fought him in 96 and 97. Legs Lewis waited all the way until what? 2002.
Yeah, but this is my thing. Why didn't y'all say nothing when Hakeem Rodman knocked Lennox Lewis out? Why they didn't say nothing about when what's his name? I forget his name.
Oliver McCall?
Yeah, McCall. Oliver McCall knocked out Lennox Lewis.
You know
Tyson beat Oliver McCall. Beat him from pillar to post.
Yeah, but you know why people don't really talk about? Because one thing about Lennox Lewis, all the people that beat him, he avenged all his losses.
Yeah, but it's the first, but they beat him one time. So at some point, why don't Tyson get any credit? They're saying that Lennox Lewis.
Because he didn't avenge his losses. That's one reason.
Yeah, but at that point, Tyson wasn't really Tyson to me. Tyson was like a drug addict.
That's what I'm saying, because he took that 4 year. He was off from 90 just after 91, and he came back in 95. He took that 4 year layoff.
Yep.
That changed. But that's what I'm saying. Like there's basically 2 cycles of Mike Tyson's in his career.
Yep. People don't see that. Let me see. We got 5 people watching. Nobody ain't saying nothing, so that means we got some. We got undisputed people in here that's not saying something, or we got people from the LinkedIn. If you're from LinkedIn, give a like and share it. At least say something. I ain't got an interview. Just say something. Just say hi. If you're from Steel City, just say hi. But you know what? They're not going to say that because that helps us get views. But it don't mean anything because after our video, that's when we get most of our views anyway.
Yo, you know what's another reason why they won't say nothing? Because it's just they have to be ashamed of the result of what they produced.
Yeah,
there has to be a shame factor. Think about this. If Undisputed was beloved, if Undisputed was a beloved boxing game, you would see Will Kisler talking all the time. You see Ash. You'll see him popping up here and there. You'll hear people talking positive about this game.
They would defend it. I know it was times that it was some game I was going at, and the developer popped up in the chat. Hold up. Aimbot popped up in one of my feeds before when I was saying something. When I was making videos earlier, when I was like a game changer for them, he popped up and said, Poe, he said that ain't what's going on. But then they put the chains on him that he can't really say certain things. But Aimbot, he popped in, he was saying certain things. And their thing was, no, we can't let Aimbot talk to the community. Let me see. Let me finish this.
I'm gonna get going.
Okay. I can finish off my my thing I was talking about. AJ Pax is about to leave, everyone. He's about to leave the show.
I'm gone, but thanks for having me on, Poe.
man, this is your house too, man. Go on with that.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
to the
Talk to you later.
next show. Hopefully you pop up tomorrow.
All right.
All right, peace. Okay, strategic timing and marketing. How how the January 23 debut aligns with UFC 324, the combat sports calendar. I know y'all because I'm reading from something. I stopped. We was talking for a while, and I'm going back talking about it. Y'all can actually read this whole script yourselves because y'all go on my blog. It's there. Um, they trying to leverage broadcast deals for cross promotion, TV, streaming, and digital platforms. Potential partnerships with game developers, EA, 2K, or indie studios. And let me see, hold on. Let me read this because y'all, I don't want strategic timing. Okay. Strategic timing for potential partnerships with game developers. Okay. EA, 2K, or indie studio. Okay. I highly doubt that they'll team up with Undisputed, but you never know because there's so many crazy things that's going on with Undisputed that wasn't originally in their plans. Community engagement and fans' hope. Fans' desire for a modern boxing game, realism, depth, and accountability. How a video game could reinforce the brand, give boxing next level exposure, opportunities for interactive content, fantasy matchups, fighter progression, and career mode experiences. My closing thoughts are Dana White's boxing venture as a potential turning point in modern boxing. Questions to consider for listeners. How should Zuffa Boxing balance traditional boxing? How should Zuffa Boxing balance traditional boxing culture with new promotion tactics? What would you want to see in a boxing game tied to this brand? That should be an interesting question to the UFC fans and boxing fans. Hit me up in my under this show. Put what you think. What would you want to see in a boxing game tied to this brand? Put it in the down below. Can interactive media help bring boxing back to prominence for younger fans? I think so. But put down what you think below. I think I'm a tag these. I'm gonna put these questions up, and y'all can answer them. I'm gonna put it in my community feed, and y'all can answer them. You know what y'all think? Let me copy and paste. Copy them now, and then I'll paste them after the show. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Why boxing fans don't trust this is critical for me. Why boxing fans don't trust Dana White with boxing? Dana White is a household name in MMA, not boxing. His entry into boxing through Zuffa Boxing has sparked excitement and skepticism alike. His cultural disconnect. While some from UFC, which is drama and spectacle driven, boxing purists value tradition, technique, and fighter legacy. Fans fear an outsider approach could prioritize hype over skill. Y'all heard that? Hype over skill. Then, people like me, commercialization concerns. Boxing has historically struggled with over commercialization. Fans worry White might push fights for pay-per-view dollars. Y'all complaining about the pay-per-view model for boxing, but a lot of y'all that's UFC fans, y'all not going to say nothing about that pay-per-view model for Zuffer boxing. Celebrity appeal. No, hold up. Fans worry White might push for pay-per-view dollars, celebrity appeal, and markability matchups rather than legitimate competition. It's like a lot of these boxers not going to get the hype. I mean, they're not going to get their turn. Like lower level boxers that's actually skilled. That's what the TKO should be really pushing for. Them lower 100, them lower 75, the lower 60, the lower 50 ranked boxers. That's what they should be pushing. But are they? That's what we're talking about. Are they just going to push the top 30, 20, and 10 boxers? Top 5 boxers. Fighters' welfare and integrity. Past UFC practices sometimes prioritize storytelling over marketability. Boxing fans worry about mismatches, underpayment, and exploitation, recalling hysterical promoter abuse. That's kind of the Muhammad Ali Act, which a lot of y'all don't know. But because y'all UFC fans, y'all don't care. Do your research. Let me see what y'all talking about in the. Let me see. Oh, esports champion. Yo, man, where you been at? He said, thanks for coming, AJ Pax. That's my co-host too. Yeah, but let me see. Yeah, people worry about mismatches, underpayment, and exploitation, recalling historical promoter abuse. When they say promoter abuse, historical promoter abuse, they're talking about Dana White. Some of them boxers, some of them UFC fighters can't even count their money. Boxing is not like it used to be, far as with some boxers. I know y'all y'all thoughts are fans of UFC, and I'm gonna always use my thoughts as a boxing fan. And I'm a super duper casual UFC fan. If I watch a fight, it's got to be something like that really interests me. But other than that, I'm not a UFC fan at all. Lack of boxing credibility. White has no long-term history in boxing promotion. Traditional promoters, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, are seen as experts in navigating boxing politics. Not Dana White. Fans question his ability to manage rankings, titles, and fair matchmaking. That's what we're talking about, matchmaking. Fear of MMA style spectacle. Concerns over book for drama matchups. Purists want ring craft and technical skills highlighted over spectacle. Potential for hype first, fights that don't honor boxing technical depth. Hysterical precedent. Previous MMA to boxing crossover often disappointed purists. Fans are cautious about repeating hype heavy strategies without real competitive legitimacy. Fans takeaway, discussion question. Y'all can put this in the bottom. I don't know if I'm a posters at the bottom, but I might. Can Dana White respect boxing traditions without modernize its presentation? What would it take for hardcore boxing fans to trust a new Zuffa boxing promotion? Could a high quality video game help bridge the gap between fans, fighter, and new audiences? I think so. Let me see. Got 2 people watching. So, Dad, how do I put these questions up? Yeah, I'm gonna have to put these questions. I'm gonna put these questions in my community area. I know people ain't popping up at the last minute. I wanted to talk to y'all in this in the YouTube chat, but it's like everybody leaving. I guess the show was too long again. But I appreciate everybody who came in. Please like, comment, and just come. I see y'all tomorrow. Then now I got 4 people. But I see y'all. I'm gonna have a show tomorrow, and we could discuss because I'm gonna post these questions. I'm gonna post them in the community thing, and y'all can answer them, and I can read them off on the show tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is at 3 p.m. Please show up, and thanks for all that showed up. Please push like, comment and share this show. Until the next show, peace. And maybe I can fix what's going on with my camera. That was weird.